here. The new Attack on Titan chapter is finally here, this time extra juicy. So, who was the father to Historia's baby? Looks like Isayama's not making us wait at all. Right at the start, they confirmed that Historia didn't even marry the guy, which is something I'm not surprised by at all. I think the opposite would have been more shocking. Turns out that the father was one of the kids that stoned Historia as a little kid. Think back to the Uprising arc. This kid really only wanted to get young Historia's attention. And good job right there, complete opposite goal accomplished. However, I do like that the small, almost irrelevant plot point was brought back. Makes you wonder what else may start popping back up from the Uprising arc. By the way, this rock-throwing kid was skipped over in Attack on Titan Season 3 so far. Better add this back in somewhere fast. Anyway, as for Historia's actual pregnancy situation, one of the things I do like is that it turned out to be Historia's own choice. Historia got pregnant as her plan to delay eating the Beast Titan. I do have a good feeling that this may involve Eren and Zeke's plan, and I'm not talking about the one they already put on the table. Also, right now the popular idea seems to be that Historia will die giving birth. This chapter, Neo even brought up that possibility, so the option is totally out there. Keep in mind that Isayama has spoken out about being a fan of Game of Thrones. A queen like Historia dying during pregnancy would mimic what a lot of people think will happen to Cersei next season. I could totally see Historia dying for that reason, and more so since it would cause the Eldians' problems to escalate even more. But what do you think? Does anyone else think there's a high chance for Historia to die during childbirth? Next up, Pixie's actions from the last chapter, finally getting an explanation. No surprise at all to see that some people aren't too happy with using Zeke. It would have been more surprising to see everyone going along with the plan without any issues. But is this going too far? Way to backstab those that helped you out for years and years. But seriously, I don't see Zeke hesitating if he had to choose between the blonde furry and his ultimate goal. Time is ticking anyway. Let's also not forget about them potentially jeopardizing their plan with Kiyomi and her nation. That being said, let me actually be fair to the other side. I do see their concerns. Right now they're just pawns or foot soldiers to this ultimate worldwide chessboard. Eren and Zeke could mind wipe them, or make them into titans at any time. At least that's a possible danger when you work with the Beast Titan. And it's just really interesting to see how much of the truth is coming out with this Marleyan wine. Better hope that wasn't poisonous. The main chubby guy here doesn't seem to be too loyal to Queen Historia anyway. These bastards wanted to make Queen Historia a titan as soon as possible to have Zeke for lunch. At this point, I'm just surprised they're not considering milking Zeke just to get some more royal blood babies out of him. By the way, these guys still have their military police symbols on their uniforms. So is that still in place, or are they just saving money on uniforms? Talking about poisonous wine, they sure did strongly hint at it this chapter. Great job right there talking all that crap, right when the Marleyans you're suppressing are in the same room serving your asses. Watch that be something else, like some Titan juices from Zeke. As for the old survey core this chapter, so what's this? The stallion digivolved into Mr. Chinner this chapter. Holy crap, that is huge. But anyway, it seems that Armin and the survey core were fully aware of what Pixies had done. Meanwhile, that conversation between Zeke and Eren has apparently already happened. Between both of them, they have 4 titans total, especially 2 of the most important ones. That right there should give a huge insight into the real truth of the past, including things about the Great Titan War. Too bad they're keeping this info to themselves. So many secrets. As for Coney here, no mercy from him at all. Coney doesn't buy that that's Eren at all, so be ready to take him out. He even brings up Eren laughing on the blimp, which I didn't really get from the chapter. I thought it was more of laughing, crying, similar to what happened at the season 2 finale. Notice how Coney conveniently leaves out Eren crying too. Is he just too blinded by rage? And then how about Mikasa? Why not even mention Eren's outburst towards Hannes? Why was Eren laughing after Potato Girl died? Let's assume that Eren hasn't gone totally insane. It could really just be some weird different way that someone is coping with the loss of somebody. As for Mikasa this chapter, as expected, Mikasa is still hesitating. I'm pretty sure she's going to be the one to stick by Eren's side the longest. Although here, I was surprised, although not too surprised, to see Armin's proposal about Eren's Titan ability. After what happened recently, he's totally putting that option on the table. Let's take the founding Titan power by force. I still have a strong feeling that the finale may put Armin and Mikasa versus Eren. But what do you guys think? Could you see this happening? Anyway, as for the flashback this chapter, so you got Levi putting these guys working manual labor jobs. Good luck guys, there's no more Titans, so build those train tracks. As for the actual important piece here, Seems Kiyomi might have been playing around with them all this time. Kiyomi wants the monopoly on their resources in order to help out. I do wonder if this was part of her plan during the time she last spoke to Willie Tiber. Is Kiyomi just backstabbing everyone? As for Eren during this flashback, interesting how the conversation of who would take his Titan next got brought up here. And oh yes, Mikasa totally jumped at the idea of having Eren inside of her. Notably, they did bring up how she might not be able to take it due to her Asian side. Meanwhile, the possibility of her Ackerman side being mixed with Eldian blood does exist, although this does bring up the Ackerman being anti-Titan theory. Let's also not forget that Armin is already a Titan anyway, so I'll be super surprised if Mikasa gets any Titan abilities by the end of this story. From Eren this chapter, we also have this very touching moment here. Aww, he doesn't want his precious buddies to die early. Notice how he still have Isayama trying to tease Mikasa and Eren getting together. At this point, I'm not expecting anything to happen, especially this being Attack on Titan. I honestly didn't think that would be anything past Mikasa's confession scene at the end of season 2. Just seeing where the story is heading right now, I think the chances of this keep on getting slimmer and slimmer. But back to someone inheriting Eren's Titan. Who do you think that should be? The Stallion, Koni, Levi, Hanji, Flock? But who am I kidding, joking about that last one. Really quickly, I do have to bring up something else about Mikasa this chapter. Okay, it's not even funny anymore. Look at what Mikasa is carrying. How much is there? Fricking steel beams too? No wonder Eren feels so bad next to her. Eren might as well hand over his mini Titan to her. So, Ackerman's confirmed to have superhuman strength. Move over, Captain America, Mikasa's gonna whoop your ass. As for not Armin and female Eren this chapter, so these two are still running around. You got Gabby crying about being a good Eldian. Like really? Oh my frickin' god. I'm disliking Gabby even more now. I can't say I'm really too much of a fan of how much time is being spent on these two. Then this chapter you also have them meeting up with that girl that Sasha saved in the past. I think you and I could totally see where this is going. Gabby's gonna go over to their house, meet up with Sasha's parents, then feel bad about her actions, and then see the Paradise Island people as good people too. I'm really hoping that Isayama doesn't make it that predictable. As for Levi and Zeke this chapter, unfortunately nothing from them present day. I'm still curious as to why Levi and the Beast are camping out. Did Hanji predict some sort of rebellion happening? That could be part of the reason why Zeke is being hidden away in the Titan Forest area. I also just love how Levi is keeping his distance and not taking his eyes off of him. I really want both of these buddies with history together to start chatting a little bit. We've only gotten a taste. I wouldn't mind seeing half a chapter just on that alone. Come on, Isayama. Meanwhile, back at Marley, the Beast Titan's ultimate plan failed. It really didn't take them that long to discover he faked his death. Notice here how they showed the upgraded 3D maneuver gear. I could totally see Reiner using this. I mean, he has in the past before. But who else could bother learning how to use this for later? Although I'm not sure if they have any gas to actually power this thing in the future. As for the current state of things, it's not surprising at all to see this allied forces being made. They want to go ahead and launch this attack on Paradise Island in 6 months. So right here, credit to Reiner for being more proactive about launching a surprise attack super early. You're about to get the Warriors versus the Survey Corps round 3 or 4 now? I can't believe we might see Reiner versus Eren again. The Armor Titan is totally gonna get smashed by that Warhammer. Really quickly, let me bring up Porco. So this chapter, he's doing the whole Mikasa thing, withholding his head when recalling a bad memory. But could there be more to it? Since they're bringing up the island during the scene, I bet you that Porco is getting some Ymir PTSD. It's actually going to be really interesting to see what Porco and Reiner do when they find out about Historia. Could Historia be the key to either of them switching sides? Definitely let me know if anyone else sees this being possible. At this point, I do have to question what exactly Zeke and Eren are planning. What's their secret? If their only option includes using the Wall Colossal Titans, then it's going to be absolute chaos in a few months. Even if they get the world to give up, at that point it's going to be a little too late. There must be something more to their plan. But whatever that thing is still a mystery right now. Either way, it really seems like Eren is walking down the path of becoming the ultimate villain in Attack on Titan. Jaeger brothers unite. Watch, these guys are going to fist bump each other before the entire world is flattened. As the Attack on Titan story is heading right now, things just keep on getting more layered and hence complicated by the chapter. I could see the surprise attack on Paradise Island being another arc, so about 20 chapters, and then one final arc to end everything. But anyway, more important, let me hear from you now. Question of the day. How do you feel about Historia's baby daddy? Do you buy that it's really the farmer boy? And does anyone think that Historia is faking her pregnancy? As for someone taking over Eren's Titan, who do you think would be best? Also, what do you think the Jaeger's brothers' ultimate plan is? Has Eren just gone totally insane by now? But anyway, definitely give us a colossal thumbs up and subscribe. If you're new to the channel, you can watch 5+ anime videos here every week. And yes, I will have a discussion video coming after the official release is out. Hopefully sometime next week. Go ahead and find out what they're changing from the manga to the anime in Attack on Titan Season 3. Be sure to set up that bell icon and I'll see you guys later.